Okay, so now we have seen that in our childhood, APJ Abdul Kalam and his three friends. So who were the three friends? Ramananda Shastri, Aravindan and Shiva Pragashan. Isn't it? Ramananda Shastri is a son of the priest of the great temple Rameshwaram, isn't it? And Rameshwaram, father is Lakshmana Shastri. So once it happened, that is in the class, a new teacher came, and when the new teacher came, he could not tolerate a Muslim boy and a Brahmin sitting together, isn't it? Who were the two? APJ Abdul Kalam and Ramananda Shastri sitting together. So what did the teacher do? Teacher asked Abdul Kalam to go and sit at the last bench, and this made a great feeling in both the children. So in the evening they both went home and said their parents about the incident that had happened in the class, isn't it? So the Ramanandan's father Lakshmana Shastri, who had come into school and said that either the teacher should say sorry to the children or go out of the school, because he had thought the evil thoughts in the minds of that innocent children, isn't it? What are the evil thoughts? Inequality, social inequality and communal intolerance. Understood? So up to there we had come in the before episode. Now we are going to the next episode. On the whole, the small society of Rameshwaram was very rigid in terms of segregation of different social groups. Segregation. What do you mean by segregation? Separation. Segregation means separation. Segregation of different social groups. So in that society of Rameshwaram, what I have been seeing, people are being divided into small groups, into different groups. However, my science teacher Shiva Subramanya Iyer, though an orthodox Brahmin, who is the teacher Shiva Subramanya Iyer. So he is a science teacher, was an orthodox Brahmin. Orthodox means full belief, great belief in their own caste and customs. Was a very conservative, with a very conservative wife. Conservative means conservative. Believing, hard belief. Hard believing in their custom. Hard believer in their custom. A superstitious believer, his wife. Understood? He did his best to break social barriers so that people from varying backgrounds could mingle easily. But Shiva Subramanya Iyer was a different person. He is a science teacher. He wanted to mingle with all kind of people. But his wife was a great superstitious believer. She was an ardent traditional Brahmin. He used to spend hours with me and would say, Kalam, I want you to develop so that you are on par with the highly educated people of the big cities. So every time, what was the advice given by Shiva Subramanya Iyer to Abdul Kalam? I want you to develop so that you have to improve yourself. You are a par with the highly educated. That means you have to go and mingle with the highly educated people and get into high position in the society. So this was already being said by Shiva Subramania Iyer. Understood? One day, now another incident that had happened between Abdul Kalam and Shiva Subramania Iyer. One day he invited me means Shiva Subramania Iyer, the science teacher, had invited Abdul Kalam to his house for a meal. His wife was horrified, she was terrified, he was frightened, could not believe herself. Idea of the Muslim boy being invited to dine in the ritually poor kitchen. That means they are Brahmin, isn't it? So she could not tolerate to keep a Muslim boy get inside their sacred kitchen. She refused to serve me in her kitchen. So she said that she will not give him the food, she will not serve him the food. Subramania Iyer was not, but she did not get any perturbed. Nor did he get angry. He did not get angry with his wife also that she is not going to serve, but instead served me with his own hands and sat down beside me to eat his meal. What did he do? His wife said that I am not going to serve him food because he is a Muslim, and how we can keep a Muslim in our sacred kitchen. But at the same time, Subramania Iyer did not show any kind of angerness towards his wife. Instead, what did he do? He took the food and started serving to Abdul Kalam and sat very near to him for having his food. His wife watched us from behind the kitchen door. She was watching all that. I wondered whether she had observed any difference in the way I ate rice, drank water or cleaned the floor after the meal. While I was leaving the house, Shiva Subramania Iyer invited me to join him for dinner again the next weekend. So there he had his food, he cleaned everything and he was about to leave. When he was about to leave, Subramania Iyer called him again and said, okay, now next week we will both have a dinner together. Sorry. Observing my hesitation. Why hesitation? Because wife had shown in a different manner, isn't it? So he thought, how again if I come, who will feel that wife will feel? He told me not to get upset, saying that what did Mr. Iyer say? You don't feel any sorry on that. Once you decide to change the system, which problems have to be comforted. Comforted means faced. That means if you are able to face any problem without feeling any obstacles or without feeling any difference there, then you are forced to go forward. Suppose if anything stop you and you are not able to go forward, you can never do it in your life. But when that problem is there in front of you and you are able to go through it, then you are success. Understood? When I visited his household, he decided to go and have dinner with him again. When I visited his house the next week, Subramania Iyer's wife took me inside the kitchen, served me food with her own hands. But the second time, what was the difference he had seen, which had surprised him? The first time when he went, she did not allow him to, she did not like at all to keep a Muslim inside her kitchen, and she did not serve him food, isn't it? But in the second time, she came and invited him inside, took him to the kitchen and gave him the food with her own hands. That is why before leaving, what Subramania Iyer had said to Mr. Kalam, that if problems are there, you should have the courage to face them. And if you don't have the courage to face, everywhere we can see problems in front of us. And if you don't have courage, if we run away from there, we will never go forward. But instead, if you are able to overcome it, if you are able to face it, then it will be easy for you to go forward. Understood? Then the Second World War was over and India's freedom was imminent. Imminent means certain. that India will get its freedom. Indians will build their own India. That means India will get their own country, declared Gandhiji. The whole country was filled with an unprecedented optimism. Optimism means as ever. That means that hope that they had never felt before. I asked my father for permission to leave Rameshwaram and study at the district headquarters in Ramanathapuram. So now he wanted to leave Rameshwaram. From Rameshwaram, he wanted to go to Ramanathapuram. So now his school time is over. School time is over, and now he has to go for his higher studies. So he asked his permission with his father that it is the time had come for him to leave Rameshwaram and go to Ramanathapuram. He told me as if thinking about Abdul. Now you have to go away to grow. Does the seagull not fly across the sun alone and without a nest? He quoted Khalil Gibran to my estate mother. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you but not for you. You may give them your love but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. So what were the words said by his father to him when he asked that he has to leave Rameshwaram and go to Ramanathapuram? He told me as if thinking aloud, Abdu, I know you have to go away to grow. That means I know, I can understand that you have to grow. So in order to grow, you have to go out of Rameshwaram. That I know. Does the seagull not fly across the sun alone and without a rest? Seagull are the birds which are seen in the sea, isn't it? If they are afraid to go to catch fish for their own, catch food for their own, or if they are afraid to go high, rising and flying in the sun, they will stay back only. They will, with that great fear, they will not get food or shelter, isn't it? But one day or the other, this baby seagull also what has to do? Has to go out of his shelter place alone, not with anybody, with his parents. It has to go alone, high up in the sky to find its shelter and food. To find its shelter and food. So here also, Abdul Kalam, up to the child age, he has been looked after by his parents. Now it is time for him to go out of his parents to stand on his own foot. So everybody, you also, now you are dependent on your parent, isn't it? For each and everything you are depending on them. So after some time, once you are able to stand on your feet, when your studies are over, you have to find, all the time your father will not work for you till your old age. Father will not work or mother will not work for you and give you food and shelter and keep you at home, isn't it? You have to find a work or a job for yourself. Then only you can earn. You can live by yourself. Otherwise, all the time you have to depend, isn't it? So when these seagulls, small baby seagulls, the birds which are seen near the sea, if they are always dependent, they only for a short time they will have to depend on their parents. Then their parents will teach them how to fly, how to catch the fish, or how to go to another place, isn't it? So all that lessons should be taught, will be taught by the parents only when they are child. Here also Abdul Kalam, as far as concerned, his schooling time is over and now he has to go for his higher studies. So if he want to go for higher studies, can he call his parents also along with him and go? It is not possible, isn't it? He has to go alone. Parents are in Rameshwaram, so can the whole family shift No, they cannot be shifted. So he himself has to go. So that is what the father had said there. Means the sun girl, seagull has to go alone, high up in the sky, in the across the sun, and without a nest. So while it is flying in another place, it has to find a nest for himself. It is not carrying the nest along with him, isn't it? Is it carrying his home parents also along with it? No, he himself has to find a better place for his own existence. He quoted Khalid Gibran to my assistant mother. So mothers will be always unhappy to send their children out from her own place, isn't it? They are all there is a different connection among children and mother, isn't it? So mothers feel that sadness leaving a child out of her, but as father had said to the mother that these are the words that he had said to his mother. Your children are your own children. That means your children is your own children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. Your children are not your children. That means the children are not your children for the whole time. They are the use of somebody else, somebody's life. They have to come to the life of somebody else. They come through you. They come through you means you are giving birth to them, and not from you. But no, it is not for you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts. So you can love them as much as you can, but you cannot give your thoughts. Suppose your mother or father is thinking that my child should stay with me. He has to become a doctor and he has an engineer, and he has to stay with you. But that thought is very different. That thought is difficult because there are thoughts in the mind of the children also, isn't it? What they have to become and what they have to do, what they have to do for their family. All that thoughts is there in the mind of the children also. So here father is saying, you had given them birth, but they are not for you. They are for the lives of other people. And at the same time, you can give them love, but not your thoughts. For they have their own, that means they themselves have their own thoughts. What they have to do. That is why he had left Rameshwaram and went to Ramanathapuram. From there, he had started his career in the field of science, defense, space, defense and nuclear technology. So in space, science and defense and nuclear technology, finally he had become the great missile man. He had been represented or called as the missile man of India, and he was the 11th president of India. A very good life. So see from where he had come and up to where he had reached. This is the life of APJ Abdul Kalam. Now look, answer the questions. Where did Abdul Kalam's house? Where is Abdul Kalam's house? In a small village in early Madras near Rameshwaram. What do you think? Dinamani is the name of a newspaper. Give a reason for, because it is being said that when the train is being stopped to stop at Rameshwaram, this paper bundle has to be thrown out of the window. So it is known as the newspaper. Who were Abdul Kalam's school friends? Yes, who were the Abdul Kalam's school friends? Anand, Ramananda Shastri and Shiva Prakash. Why? What did they later become? Ramashastri, he had taken the work of his father Lakshmana Shastri. Then Aravindan had gone to the business of arranging transport for the pilgrim, and Shiva Prakasham became a catering contractor. How did Abdul Kalam earn his first wage? So his first wage he had earned from his cousin Shamsuddin by carrying the bundle which has been thrown out of the window. Understood? Had he earned any money before that? No, he did not earn any money. Yes, he had earned. How? Because there was a great, during the Second World War, there was a great demand for the tamarind seeds. And what did he do? He used to collect the tamarind seeds and sell them in the mosque street. So that time also he had collected some money. How does the author describe his father, mother and himself? So what nature? His father was not a very rich person. He was he is born tall and handsome, but he was from the middle of the. He was very. Father used to avoid. Sorry, his father do not have any formal education and so much wealth, but he was generous and possessed great intuitive wisdom. And a mother helped father in all these qualities, isn't it? And then he himself has inherited the good qualities from his father and mother. What qualities he had inherited from his father and mother? From honesty and self-discipline from his father, and inherited faith and goodness, inherited faith in goodness and deep kindness from his mother, isn't it? So he got all the good characters from his father and mother. What characters does he say he inherited from his parents? These are the characters. Now discuss the question in class with your teacher. On the whole, the small society of Rameshwaram was very rigid in terms of segregation different social groups. Which social group does he mention about the caste system? That was in the paragraph number 8. Because some families are very rigid, very strict in their traditional beliefs. Example, the science teacher's family, Iyer's family, isn't it? That is Shiva Subramanya Iyer. He was not so much strict, but his wife was very rich. She believed in her own custom and tradition. Were they aware only of the differences, or did they also naturally share friendship and experience? They did not find any difference among themselves. They had shared a loving and kind, tolerant friendship relationship between Hindu, Muslim. Isn't it? Between Hindu and Muslim. The authors being both the people who were very aware of the differences among them, those who tried to bear their differences. Narrative incidents that show how difference can be created and how they can be resolved. Differences can be created in some one case we can say about the Subramanya Iyer, isn't it? He was very tolerant towards others, isn't it? He did not feel any of the difference in the caste or religion. But his wife believed in that. First time when Abdul Kalam came, she refused to give him food in their sacred kitchen and refused to serve for him also, isn't it? But in the second time, the same lady had invited him inside to the kitchen and given him the food. So that shows that, so before leaving, what did Subramanya Iyer say to APJ Abdul Kalam? That whatever the only problems are there in front of us, and if we fail to face them, we will never never have the courage to cover them up, isn't it? Take them up. So if we are having the courage to face any problem, then it will be easy for us to go further. Why did Abdul Kalam want to leave Rameshwaram? So all his childhood studies are over and now he has to go to Ramanathapuram for his higher studies. What did his father say to him? That a seagull do not stop, it has to fly across the sky for food and alone and without a rest it has to go. That means it is time for him to go out of Rameshwaram. What do you think the words mean? Why do you think he spoke? Because he had said that already. Up to then he has been on the with the help of his parents, depending on his parents. Now it is time for him to go and find a work for himself or to live for himself. That means his life is for the life of other people. That we have only the right to give birth to them and we have no right to give them the thoughts. It is their thoughts. They have to live according to their own thoughts. Okay, next look at the words in the dictionary. So that all things you have to do it from your getting the help of the dictionary, you can do it. What are the meanings of the word trace and which of the meaning is closer to the word to the text. Now match the phrase broke out. What do you mean by broke out? Began suddenly in a violent way. Violent means in a strong way. In accordance with. In accordance with means according to a particular rule, principle or system. A helping hand. What do you mean by helping hand? It's not able to tolerate. Sorry, helping hand means assistance. Somebody there to help you. Could not stomach. Could not stomach means was not able to tolerate. Generosity of spirit. Attitude of kindness, readiness to give freely. Figures of authority. Person with the power to make decisions. Now studying the words by adding D, IR and IN. Adequate, inadequate. Demanding, undemanding. Patriotic, unpatriotic. Logical, illogical. Acceptable, unacceptable. Active, inactive. Disputed, undisputed. Legal, illegal. Regular, irregular. True, untrue. Accessible, inaccessible. Responsible, irresponsible. Tolerant, intolerant. Permanent, impermanent. Coherent, incoherent. Possible, impossible. Then passive and active. Passive and active in that first we have to see that how it is being connected in the active, how it is being active. Active will be active. Active is subject plus verb plus object. Subject, verb plus object. So active means subject, verb, object. So which is the subject here? The chief guest is the subject. Understood? Verb is unfurled. Object is what? Unfurled means opened. What did the chief guest open? The flag. That is the object. Understood? So now in the passive, this sentence has to be written in the form of object first, verb then, and by along with the subject. How you will write? The flag. Object is, which is the object? The flag. Yes, the flag. What had happened to the flag? Was what? Unfurled. Unfurled by, subject is, yes, by the chief guest. By the chief guest. Understood now? So this is called active and passive. In yesterday's competition, the prize by the principal. So how you will write? Yesterday's competition, the prizes were given by the principal. So that is which one only? Passive, isn't it? In spite of financial difficulties, the laborers were paid. So here we are writing only the passive one. On Republic Day, vehicles were not allowed beyond the point. Second day, books were bought and sold. Payment every Saturday. Election to the Lok Sabha were held are held every 5 years. National anthem has been composed by Ravindranath Tagore. Then rewrite the paragraphs. Paragraphs are also given over there and you have to rewrite over it. So certain questions of this, along with your notebook, I will be saying you to copy that, do it in your words. You understand it, read the lesson properly. Many times you should read it, understand it, and try to learn also. Understood?